When I'm not busy scaling previously unimaginable social media heights, I like to answer questions and comments that I get on YouTube, so let's get to it. Can you give us your most embarrassing memory of playing guitar? Something you think back on and just cringe. Alright, I got a few of them I can talk about, but I want to preface this real quick by saying that I have this very strange self-defense mechanism where if I'm in the act of being embarrassed, I just really start leaning in and enjoying it. It's a sick thing that I've never been able to totally figure out. But if I'm like bombing on stage, I kind of like actually enjoy it. Like the first thing that I thought of when I read this question was I was playing this show with Kindred at this restaurant that we would play like twice a week. So we were kind of getting burned out on it. Like the crowd was never that great. We would play like super late. We'd play till like 11 p.m. on like Mondays in Florida, out of season, because we have like seasonal tourists and stuff like that. And so I don't even know why we were there, because it'd always be dead from 10 to 11. And I remember one time Kindred just checked out. So she was like just like sitting on a couch, just totally unprofessional. And I have to finish the fight. I'm not going to be like, can we just bounce early? Like, they paid me to be there from here to here. I accepted the job. I was going to play till there, even though there was like barely anybody there. So I remember for like the last 30 minutes, I went into this like real progressive medley of like all my longest songs. And I just kind of, made a quick little weird set list where I would kind of like jump in and out of the songs and stuff. And I was really getting into it. And like, it was like to nobody. So even though like I'm not like embarrassed by it, that was like the first thing I thought of. Because at the end of that, I played all the way till 11. And then like some very kind elderly people who I didn't even know were there, like in the back, just gave me like a very nice smattering of applause. So I think of stuff like that. I always think of like gear failing me. I remember like we played the New Year's show this past New Year's Eve. We started getting ready for a 4-hour set, and like my Bose mixer just wouldn't turn on. Like I tested it the night before because I'm always like super paranoid about that ever happening. Tested the night before, it just didn't work for whatever reason. It works now. I can't get it to not work again. Gear just has a funny way of doing that. The nice thing about the Bose stuff that I use is you can actually go direct into the Bose tower. You just lose the ability to do like reverb and effects and stuff like that. So I was still able to plug in a guitar line in and a mic line in. So we were able to do it just without, reverb, which kind of sucks, to be honest. So that's like an embarrassing moment. I remember another time I was playing this it was this show at kind of like a community theater type showcase thing, and it was like me and a piano player and a singer, and I was playing a nylon string guitar, and we did sound check, and it was fine, but the show was like maybe 3 hours after sound check, right? So we come out, and I grab the nylon string guitar, and the piano player starts playing, and I'm playing this rhythmic thing like something like that. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I remember that my G string was badly out of tune. I don't know if I did something wrong. I don't know if somebody hit the guitar or whatever, but it was so out of tune from where I left it that like there was no hiding it, right? So again, this guitar is in tune, so I can't really I could recreate it, but basically it's like I'm like it's sounding like. So eventually I just did this. Because it's not like I could like stop the show because the piano player's going, the singer's going. So I just kind of muted myself and just played muted along until between songs when I could tune it. So I guess that was like kind of, but I look back at those and those are like fun to me. Like it's funny. I even in the moment, like I wasn't like sweating or nervous. I was like, well, this is funny that I'm just totally out of tune at this kind of big show. There's like a lot of people there. So I'll just whatever. It's weird. So like the worse I bomb, the more that I enjoy it, which actually leads me to my real most embarrassing cringy moment on guitar, which I'm going to rope in another question for this. Dude, do you ever go see bands and say to yourself, I'm better than that guitarist. I'm as good as that drummer. I'm equal to the keyboardist. Wow, I could learn a lesson from that harmonica player. Oh, she's good. I got to work on my glockenspiel. That guy on the triangle was next level. The guy snoring in the corner, I can snore better than that. So the spirit of this question is an interesting one because it's like how you evaluate yourself against other musicians. And I do remember in my earlier days of playing, when I was like 20 years old or whatever, I was very obsessed with being better than this person, better than that person. I I've played basketball pretty competitively my entire life, so there's like a competitive instinct that I have that is ingrained in me. And I thought that was going to kind of carry over into guitar playing and, you know, being better than this person, better than that person. And I just remember, like, in college, I would say things like, oh, I'm better than that guy, whatever. And now it's like I look back on that time in my life and how I evaluated my own guitar playing, which was not good. And that is super cringy. And that's extremely embarrassing to me that I even ever thought that way. Because I do think, like, as you get good at an instrument, at almost anything, as like your competency in a field like increases, so does like your awareness. Hopefully, so does your awareness of what you're actually doing. Like, am I better at guitar than anybody? I'm as good as I practice, right? I'm as good as I probably should be for the amount that I've played and the amount that I've practiced and the amount that I've put into it. Somebody's probably, lots of people have done more than I have, and by a lot of estimations, they would be better. But to me, once you can play guitar, you can play guitar, right? Like, Jimi Hendrix is awesome at guitar. Jimmy Page is awesome at guitar. Who's better? It's not even a question about that. It just comes down to taste. And, you know, for me, I'm just more into like the songwriting and the songs than the actual playing when I evaluate musicianship. But that's not right and that's not wrong. So thinking of myself in terms of being better than anyone ever, I thought was just it's just cringy to look back on, because we're all in kind of different parts of our guitar journey, so to speak, to make it sound kind of lame. And one thing that I've noticed being able to play with more professional people is that like the real ones get it. You know, they're not going to go out and they're not going to flex on people who like aren't as good or haven't been playing long, haven't as practiced as much, aren't doing it professionally, don't have the luxury of being able to like be like a full-time guitar YouTuber, whatever, performer, where I can practice a lot if that's what I want to improve on. Like, I'm not going to evaluate myself against some person who just picked it up and is just, playing 30 minutes a week just to kind of have fun. Nor am I going to evaluate myself against like some actual virtuoso who can do things that I can't even fathom. So I think that's kind of embarrassing, trying to flex on people and thinking that you're better than anybody else. What an inspiring answer. We jazz guys prefer the term archtop to Hollowbody. Archtop's rule, I love the dog ear pure 90s on that box. Yeah, so I just did a couple videos with this. D'Angelico 59 Hollowbody. This guitar is awesome. You're going to be seeing a lot more of this guitar. Yeah, I don't like saying Hollowbody either. Archtop is where it's at. For whatever, I don't know why I don't like saying Hollowbody. That's what it is. Semi-Hollowbody, I'm totally cool with. But yeah, 59. Well, we'll just go with archtop. Whatever. I love this guitar. I like the Sean Daniels Journey of Sadness. Needs to be a series. Thanks for the lesson. Really love it. Question: do people play A minor 7 over G? That is fretting the 3rd fret of the low E string. Yeah, so the Sean Daniel Journey of Sadness. That's what I called just learning minor chords and hammering on. If you missed the lesson from a couple days ago, which is all about kind of minor scale hammer-on stuff. And just really equated it to my own sadness, which I thought was a nice and interesting touch. But yeah, so A minor 7 over G. So basically what we have here is your pointer finger on the 1st fret of the B string, middle finger, 2nd fret of the D string, ring finger, 3rd fret of the low E string. So this is an A minor 7 with a G in the bass. Okay, now a G note is in an A minor 7, A, C, E, G. So this would be an inversion of an A minor 7 chord, okay? Yes, people do play this a lot. I play this a lot as a transitional thing. I don't play this as like a chord necessarily in a progression, but if I'm going from like an A minor, something like that. Basically, adding the G to an A minor chord on my way, usually on my way, to an F major 7. But again, you can use this transitionally in a lot of different spots. One thing that I think you should try is try playing an A minor 7 with your ring finger and your middle finger, right? It's kind of awkward at first, but the nice thing about this is you can play a lot of chords in this key because, right? So here's A minor 7. You put your pointer finger on the F. You get this kind of F major 7. You can take your pinky, get that G. So now it's the A minor 7 over G. And then open A, and then 3 to make C. C, A, G, F. So you can kind of play like a lot of cool stuff in that key. But yeah, basically, that's kind of like how I would play it, like a Travis pick kind of transition to it. But yeah, of course we all play it. It's a great chord. Beautiful song, great voice. The mix is head and shoulders above what's typically delivered from the home studio. Thank you very much. I did this video on restringing my 12-string Taylor, finally. Alicia sent me those strings over, and I redid the 12-string, and I did one of my songs, and I tracked it, and I think I really do. I personally think it's probably like the best sounding acoustic sound that I've gotten. And I gotta shout out Sweetwater. This video is not sponsored by anybody, but I've redone this room, and it sounds so much better. I got these Proso acoustic bass trap panels that I've put in the corners. I got a video on that coming up soon. And just having like the reorientation of the whole studio, long ways with like those Neumann monitors. I'll link you to the videos of me doing all this stuff because I think it's pretty fascinating, and the recordings are sounding so much better because I can finally like hear myself accurately mixing stuff. So yeah, I thought that 12-string video turned out really cool. So thank you for saying so, because it reinforced what I feel like I'm already kind of hearing. So it's probably a combination of just me getting better at kind of doing a lot of this stuff. But yeah, the room sounds better, and it's allowing me to actually utilize the gear in ways that I feel like I should have been all along. But now I can finally hear it because, like I said, I've been spending extra time getting the room just right. He teaches me nothing apart from the ability to show off and talk a lot. I mean, if I'm teaching you the ability to show off, that must mean like you're doing something, right? I mean, isn't the point of watching lessons on the internet is to learn the ability to show off? Like, that's kind of why we all try to play guitar anyways. So if anything, mission accomplished to myself. All right, listening homework. I got a really good one for you. So great band called Warpaint. Killer musicians, all of them. Great song, like right up my alley. I love their sound, so good. They have a new album coming out, which you should or it just came out. You should definitely listen to it. And they did a From the Basement taping. If you've never seen the From the Basement series, it's basically a whole YouTube channel that just has like the best live sound recordings. Radiohead's done a bunch of them, which I think I've actually talked about in videos before. But Warpaint, awesome. Check out the From the Basement thing. I've watched this like 3 times just on in the background just because like the sound is so good. The drummer kills it. She is so good. Everybody in that band is awesome. So huge fan of Warpaint. You guys have any questions or comments, save them in the questions, the comment section, Instagram, Twitter, or the website. I'll talk to y'all soon. Thanks a lot.